theories. Moral theories, it's a philosophy when people argue and debate about such meanings as right and wrong. Do you know what is right? You don't know what is right?
Yeah.
Not too small.
Not to smoke is right, okay.
In the mankind, people understand.
So mankind understands that.
Mankind understands that right and wrong were different for everybody.
That definitions like right and wrong are different for everybody. Okay.
It depends on the culture.
It depends on the culture.
The first rules were made by Moses, I think.
By Moses.
By the 10 rules of God.
By Moses. The 10 messages from God.
Yes.
And you think that you know those things, right, for yourself. So somewhere inside you do understand what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard about such principle as the greatest happiness principle? Have you heard about this principle? How do you understand? What does it mean, the greatest happiness?
Thing that happens maybe.
The best thing that happens?
In your life.
Greatest happiness is life.
The greatest happiness is life itself. Okay, positive view. Do you have your own idea of the greatest happiness? What happiness? Huh?
Of our greatest
Yeah.
happiness.
What is greatest happiness personally for you? What would make you happy?
Then my family will always be healthy.
The health of your family? Raise up the hands those who imagine happiness. So, what's the happiness? What is happiness?
I don't know, when everything is in harmony,
Okay.
and I think that happiness is not only having good relationship with everybody. You have to, you should have foes and friends. It's normal, it's life, and it makes life interesting in some case and bright. And no, happiness is when you have family, when you have understanding, when you have friends, when you have people that would certainly understand you every time, whether has happened.
But you rose up your hand when I asked, do you imagine happiness for yourself? And you said yes. So describe the picture of happiness. Because right now you are describing to me some abstract definitions.
I finished university, I find a good job, and
But you do imagine what kind of university you finish, you graduated from, and you do imagine what kind of job would you have. What kind of job you plan to have?
something connected with economics.
With economics. And you imagine these things. Okay, do we have any other pictures of happiness? Yes, Sash, what's your picture?
People who are really important to you.
No, that's not the picture. I mean the picture. Like there's something which you can even paint on the wall.
Small children running.
Okay.
Two children.
Two children.
Husband.
You imagine children.
Yeah.
So you imagine husband. You have the type of man you like.
Yeah.
So you imagine the type of man you like, and you imagine children with their faces, with hair.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your picture of happiness?
Maybe to find a society which which will think in the same way like me, and
But
to
do
stay
you-
with them.
What does it mean to find the society? That's not happiness yet. It's just the road towards happiness. But do you imagine happiness just as a ready day, today, the happiness?
Far away from my family.
Far away from your family. You imagine this picture that you are somewhere far away from your family.
But far away, yes.
But do you imagine the place where would you be? Like an island or another country or a house?
South Africa.
Do you
South
know how?
America, sorry.
South America. But do you imagine South America? I mean the nature around, the house there.
one of the parts of the Brazil.
Somewhere in Brazil. You know how Brazil looks like?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your picture of happiness?
My picture of happiness is to end the university, to get a job as a surgeon somewhere.
You imagine yourself to be a surgeon?
Yes.
Dressed,
Dressed
that
like
you wash your hands, and right
Yes.
now you are having
cutting
your operation.
yeah,
Okay.
operation to get financial secured, so that I don't have to fear a crisis. To buy a villa in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so and you imagine the villa.
Yeah, I imagine.
Okay, why am I right now pushing you to imagine? Because to my surprise I found out that most of, not even children, most of people, they just say that they want to be happy. But they do not even think about happiness, they do not imagine happiness. And as we are proceeding with you towards, from one lecture to another, towards the rest of the course, at every lecture I'm pointing to you in different ways that everything has energy. Your emotions, your words, water, planet, universe, and universe is listening to you, okay? So if you do not ask, if you do not imagine, if you do, you know that joke when the guy was crying out loud and praying and saying to God, Jesus Christ, why don't you like me? I'm so nice and so saint. I pray to you every day, but I've never won a lottery. And the God said, Jesus, just buy the ticket. So where's your ticket to win the lottery? Okay, just think about it. There is a really nice book. I think it's, maybe you have it in the library, Richard Bach. Illusion. Yes, the book is called Illusion. Read it. It's a tiny book, really slim. It would take you maybe one evening. But read it. Because I agree with those ideas. If you do not imagine things, if you do not invent them, they will never happen. Not even would never, but will never happen. There's a difference. So you must imagine your happiness in details, in colors, in feelings, in tastes, I don't know in what, but you must imagine these things. And one day, just all of a sudden, it happens. Definitely it shall happen to you. Please, tell me, what should you do in the situation like this? Imagine that you have a cat, and she brought you 7 kittens. And unfortunately, you discover that one kitten is infected with some really dangerous disease. And you know, some diseases cannot be cured in cats. So one kitten is ill. And you also know that if you do nothing, then in 2 or 3 weeks' time, all the rest of the kittens, and even you yourself, would be also infected. And even might die. So what would you do in such situation?
I'm too wicked or egoistic, but I would take that kitten to the vet clinic and make it
Asleep.
asleep.
Okay, you'll put it to sleep?
Yes, sounds horrible. Maybe me too, and I'd like to do the same actually.
Okay, do we have any other decisions? So raise up the hands, yes.
If it will be my own house, I
If
will.
it is my own house,
Yes, I will call some special people to. I don't know, to kill the infection from all house, because it's very dangerous. I can infect myself and I can infect neighbors, and it will be pandemic.
so they would, exactly, so